Good morning, yogis. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your practice this morning. Today we'll be focusing on opening up the chest. Sometimes that's really nice to do first thing in the morning, or any type of stretching is actually really good to do first thing in the morning. But you obviously chose this practice today because the chest might be a little tight, or it just sounded good to you to start your day with a little chest opener and just a little yoga. So we won't be using any props today. The practice is going to be short, so we won't be holding the poses as long as we typically do in our yin practice. And just an opportunity to allow you to open up the chest and get your day started. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start down on our back. So making your way down nice and easy. And let's just bring the knees into the chest. Just gently rock side to side. Just beginning to wake up the spine and the lumbar, sacrum, lower back, that whole region there. Good. And then hold the knees here and just wrap your arms around your chest. And I want you to focus on walking those hands back towards the shoulder blades. So we really want to focus on opening up across the upper back, widening those shoulder blades. Good. And then holding that opening as you extend the arms out into a T with the palms facing up. And then from here, we're just going to drop the legs over to the right, coming into supine twist. So we want to keep the focus of keeping both shoulders, especially that left shoulder, plugged down to the floor, to the earth, to your mat. And letting the legs be nice and heavy here. If you have some space between the thighs, if it's a little bit tight in the legs and the hips for you, you can always use something, a pillow or a yoga block or a blanket in between the legs to just prop the legs here so the legs can be somewhat relaxed. We don't want any activation going on here. And then just gently looking over to the left. And we'll take about 7 breaths here. And breathing into the belly, breathing into the chest. Each time you exhale, letting those shoulders get heavier and heavier. Taking your last breath here. Big open mouth exhale. Turning the head back to center. Keep the arms where they are and just slowly bring one knee back to center. Maybe you readjust those shoulders, opening up across the upper back, and then letting the legs drop over to the left. Maybe gazing over to the right. And really letting any and all tension in the shoulders just melt away here. And feeling that nice stretch across the collarbones, across the chest. Last breath here. Inhaling deeply. And exhale fully. Head back to center, bringing those legs in one at a time. Let's once again give ourselves a hug. So hugging the arms around the legs. Sorry, we didn't actually do that before. So let's give ourselves a big hug first. Good. I'm just holding here and noticing as you wrap the arms around the legs that you're opening up the upper back. Good. And then we'll release the legs, lowering the feet down to our mat. And making our way into Supta Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together, letting the knees just fall open. And now we're going to bring the arms up overhead and either clasping onto opposite elbows or the wrist. I want you to just lift the head and shoulders, and then we're going to shift over to the left. So we're getting a nice side body stretch, but we're also going to open up across the chest. So I want you to widen those shoulder blades once again. So maybe kind of walk those shoulders out from one another, and then let the hands rest up over your head, letting those shoulders just sink back and down. Good. And breathing here, breathe into your chest, letting the muscles in the chest soften, the muscles around your heart, around the lungs. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Now before we make our way over to the right side, I just want you to check in and notice if the glutes or the hips were activated or gripping or holding in any sort of way. And making sure to allow that to be released when we come to the right side. So now lifting the head and shoulders and slowly shifting your way over to the right. Might kind of just need to walk that upper body across. And then if you were grabbing onto the wrist, just switch your hands. So opposite wrist here, or maybe opposite way of holding onto the elbows. Let the hands be relaxed, the arms, the shoulders. And just breathing here. We don't want to add any extra tension in the shoulders or in the chest. And let's take our last breath here. Big inhale. Exhale it all out. And making our way back to center. And then let's just bring the arms out to cactus arms. And then walk those shoulder blades out from one another once again. And then just extending the legs all the way out. Kind of wiggle the flesh from the cheeks so that the lower back can be at ease here. Let the feet just fall out to the side. So kind of like in our corpse pose, Shavasana. But we want to focus mostly here on the upper back and across the chest, really letting those shoulders get heavy, sinking down. And just taking 3 slow, deep breaths here. Last breath. Big open mouth exhale. Good. Let's reach the arms all the way up overhead. And really stretch here, walk the feet in towards one another. Just a nice, long, deep, lengthening stretch. Good. And then let's bring the feet to the mat or to your floor. And then rolling over to your right side in fetal pose. And then we're just going to slowly press ourselves up. Good. And coming into an easy seated pose, kind of move the flesh out from the cheeks and just root yourself down. And we'll make our way into Archer. So let's bring that left hand up overhead and let that left hand just fall in between the shoulder blades. And just to assist this really quickly, we'll just bring that right hand to the elbow and then gently press that elbow back and letting that left hand maybe fall a little further in between the shoulder blades. Good. Holding that here, extend that right arm out to the side with the thumb up, rotate that thumb down, and then we're going to bring that right hand back behind us. Maybe you walk that right hand up to the left. You're able to clasp the fingers here, or you can just hold here, or maybe you hold onto your shirt. This side is always a little tighter for me. And now let's focus on opening up those shoulders. So we don't want to so much pitch our chest or our ribs forward. Tuck the ribs in. I'm actually going to turn sideways here. A little easier to see. So instead of sending the ribs forward, we want to pull the ribs in and more or less focus on opening up those elbows. So sending those elbows back and opening up the shoulders. Yeah, let's just take 3 more breaths here. Good, last breath. And we'll slowly release the arms. Let's just do a few shoulder rolls here. Good. And then we'll make our way to the other side. So I'll turn myself back around. Let's bring that right hand up. And then using that left hand to gently guide that right elbow back, letting that right hand fall a little deeper down the back. Good. And then extending that left hand out, rotate the hand down and bringing that hand right back behind you. And maybe you're able to walk the hands together on this side. This side is easier for me. And doing the same thing. So we don't want to pitch the ribs forward or the chest. We want to tuck the ribs in and then let that opening happen through the elbows and the shoulders. Taking 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Slowly releasing the arms. Let's once again do some shoulder rolls. Good. And let's just switch the crossing of our legs. So bringing that foot that was in closest to you in front. And coming into a twist, take an inhale, reach the arms out to the side. And then as you exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to that right knee, right hand back behind you. Grounding down through both hips. Inhale, lengthen up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, twisting to the right, gently bring that right shoulder back. Yeah, feeling that nice stretch across the collarbones. And then doing your best to let the legs relax. So notice if they're wanting to engage and be a part of this twist. We want to let them soften, especially the inner thighs. Each exhale, seeing if you can open up across the chest just a little deeper. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Last breath, big inhale. On your exhale, untwist, coming forward. Okay, then making our way to the other side. Inhale, exhale, coming into your twist. Grounding and lengthening. And then deepening your twist as you open up that left shoulder. Make sure the shoulders aren't up by the ears too. You want to let those shoulders and shoulder blades glide down the back. Last 3 breaths. Cleansing breath to come out of the twist. Exhale it all out. Very good. A few more poses here. We're going to come into cactus arms and do a variation of cat and cow. I'm just going to turn sideways here. So doing your best to have the elbows aligned with the shoulders. Taking your inhale, reach that heart forward. Draw the shoulder blades back towards one another. Yeah. And then exhale, we'll round in, bringing the elbows in towards one another, rounding through the spine. Good. Inhale to open. And exhale. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale, really reach those elbows back, reach those shoulders back. And exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Last one here. Inhale, coming back into our cactus arms. From here, we'll drop the hands down, bring the hands back behind us, interlacing the fingers, coming into clasped hands. Take an inhale, lengthen up nice and tall as you extend the arms back. And if you have extra long arms, or just really long arms, not extra long arms, excuse me, you can just kind of lift the hands up off the floor a little bit. So what we want to focus on is drawing those shoulder blades back towards one another, as though you have a pencil between the shoulder blades and you are squeezing it to hold there. And let's just take 3 more slow, deep breaths into the chest. Last breath. Big open mouth exhale. Slowly releasing the arms. Maybe it feels good to do a few shoulder rolls. I hope the shoulders and the chest feel nice and open now, and you are ready to take on this great, big, beautiful day before you. And may you have good vibes, and may you extend good vibes, and just have a great day. Thank you, yogis, for practicing with me. Namaste.